Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Jenith Blackard,
And I'm Leonka Reyna.
and this is the How Hustle Mystic Morning Show. Today, Bianca and I are going to talk about Mystique, our inner circle, and we are also going to talk about our live event, but mostly want you to get to know us and really understand the journeys that we've been on to now and why we do this work and why we are so passionate about helping you really get back to being you and all of you.
Yeah,
So,
exciting. Man, this week has been amazing. So, we've had some amazing different speakers come on and talk about all kinds of different topics. And one of the topics that is very near and dear to our hearts is the topic of being available for helping and supporting all of our community.
yes, re really pulling up and growing this group from as I guess the closest thing I can say is oneness. That, we really want to work with sustainability in all ways and work with you being that ripple effect in the world from some of the work that we do. I guess I wanted to start a little bit with, how Leonka and I know each other, where we've come from. And really, I started doing this work back, kind of woke up in 2005 when I had a life-changing surgery. And I have thought that maybe I'm possibly a walk-in, but whatever happened was for the greatest good of all the world because I woke up and I literally just felt very different. And I started seeking consciousness. I started seeking how to change myself and how to, really be more of a contribution to others instead of just self-serving. It's all about me and it's all about goals. And of course, I still have some of that human culture, but I've seen like some of the veils lifted, I guess is the best word to say it.
Yeah. So take me through that a little bit, Jennifer. Like what is your why here? And why I know she didn't think that I was going to do this interview style, but I
Well,
wanted to
I
kind of
think
go
we
into
should do that for both of us.
yeah, I wanted her to really go into a little bit more about the awakening that she did have and then
Yeah.
how it brought her to the why.
Well, I don't even know that I'm kind of, it's so kind of further back now that I'm not as uh, inept at speaking it. I'm inept at speaking it. Here it is, you guys. So imagine you go in for a surgery and you're incredibly depressed and you're kind of living a dead-end job and you go through your day like a robot and you are always being pushed around by the other people in this organization. And yet your ego inside had been like, but I worked my way up. I was stepping up that corporate ladder. I have the greatest car that I have dreamed of so far. I have this, I have that, and
You're
I
checking your boxes.
and I checked all my boxes.
Hmm.
I even, had the first baby by then.
Hmm.
And so everything on the outside was this gorgeous thing. And then on the inside of me, there was this constant head noise, constant anxiety, constant depression, trying to decide if I wanted to take meds or not, because I just felt like, there's no sun. So go, and this is all going on. I go in this surgery, and then something shifted to the point that I felt like I don't even recognize this person that I am that's in this body. I'm like, this isn't the same. I'm not the same person. Yet I knew some of the memories and
Wow.
and the pictures of the life. Like I could try to pull
That
up.
sounds pretty walking to
Yeah,
me.
I could try to pull up like my son's birth and our wedding, and I just have glimpses and pictures of things that were really emotionally important. So after this, for the lack of a better word, we'll call it a walk-in experience. These veils had started to lift, and I tried to go back to this job. And this is in my first book. It's called Seven Dragons: A Guide to a Limitless Mind. And I I walked back in that office, and then it was chaos. And the breaking point that I have shared a lot was when I went to my car in the middle of the day after being followed to the bathroom by 3 to 5 colleagues asking me very insignificant, not even timely questions. And midstream, I could say nothing. And it was almost like an out of body experience. And I was like, is this the life that I lead? Was the first thing that came to my mind. And I got up and I walked out and I went in this beautiful new car and I dropped my head and I smelled these like delicious brand new car flavors, which I almost make me sick now
Oh, I
because
gotcha. Yeah.
I was like, you know, what am I doing with my life? And I hear the first very clairvoyant noise that said, walk away. And it wasn't my voice, it wasn't my thought. And that was the beginning of this. And so that's when I started to say, well, I guess if I'm going to start walking away from this corporate career, I better have some sort of plan and something to sell. So I then started writing this book that was pretty much channeled about, how I saw the dragons. And these were kind of the constructs that were keeping us from really having the life that we wanted to lead. So
Wow.
in this book, which I wrote in 30 days, word by word, no chat GPT or anything.
That's amazing.
And got it out and got it published. We made it an Amazon bestseller. And then that was kind of my, beginning of all of this. And then, there were other waking moments when my husband said, it's okay to walk away. We've got this 50K nest egg. And then 2 years later, that 50K nest egg, I was investing in myself, in myself, in myself, but wasn't applying it. And that ended up with my husband then trapping me against the wall that told me, you're going to have to get a job. So that was the next great awakening that I had. There's much more details there. And
Sure.
then I started, after my husband trapped me against the wall, he said, you're going to have to get a job. And I'm like, hell no. And something inside me said, okay, I'll learn how to make money in this business. I'm going to learn how to grow myself. And I asked to be somebody on somebody else's show, and they were just like, "I think you should start your own show."
Mm.
And that's really where the idea of the show came.
Mm-hmm.
And then I met Darius Barazande, and I said, "I'm kind of getting this nudge that I want to do a show, and I'd like to do it with you." This
Mm-hmm.
is 2009 by that time. And Darius now runs New Wealth Revolution. And together we used to run a company called New Wealth Experience.
Mm-hmm.
And our very first summit, we, tried to interview everyone from The Secret. And we interviewed everybody except for Dr. D. Martini, who I've never had a chance to interview.
I don't think anyone has. I haven't seen him do.
No, he's not
Yeah.
doing much
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
And then enter Leonka, and by that time I'm forcing this still. I still have that engine of force inside of me. And she had to, she
I
saw
can tell.
a place that I spoke and she's like, I can help her. I can help her.
Let me
And
tell
she
you that
called.
story.
Okay, great.
Let me tell you the story. So I'll lock the. I might have
My
gone sad. No. So I'll pick up here. So it was 2009. In 2010, I decided to go and start studying. I worked in corporate. I worked in marketing for a long, long time, and did advertisement sales for radio and television. And I got into marketing because I actually got into radio because I loved music and I was used to be
Mhm.
a lead singer of a band. So anyway, I found myself in this really successful career, checking my boxes. I was about to get married 2010, and I thought that I had all the things. We had the house, we had the car, a great career. I had reached a pinnacle. I was the president of the American Women in Radio Television, right? And then I realized that I was so unhappy.
Mhm.
Like the pressures and what I was working on was so unfulfilling. And so I started to take during my lunchtime, I started to study for to become a life coach.
Mhm.
And mainly I wanted to become a life coach because I wanted to heal myself. I wanted to help heal other people, but first I wanted to learn about myself. And so I started taking these courses during lunchtime, and I got certified. And one of the first things I remember saying was like, what's the fastest way to meet people in my industry, in a new industry,
Mhm.
and get my name out there if I want to do this in the life coach industry. So I
Mm.
was like, oh, I better go do some networking, right? So some local
Uh-huh.
networking. So I signed up for this talk that this lady was giving, and I remember coming in, and I was like, I have never been to a networking thing for around life coaches. Like,
Mm.
this is so strange. And so I went in and I sat at the very back of the room, and I see this
Yeah.
lady up there. And this lady happens to be Jenna, but this lady up there talking about business. And I really was fascinated because I thought that I was going to be an executive coach and help people with their either business or their life choices around their careers. So she's talking about business, but she's bringing it into the four different seasons, or the four different
Mhm.
elements of the earth. And it was like fire and wind and
Yeah.
water. And I was like, is she talking about business like this? I was like fascinated. And I'm leaning forward and I'm catching every word. And I thought, wow. And it's all making sense. And then all of a sudden, I hear this booming voice in my head. It says, you're going to work with her.
That must have been the same booming voice that told me to walk away.
And I said, I am. And then it was like, you're gonna work with her. And then I said, I'm gonna work with her. And I was like, okay. And then so she goes on to talk about a teleseries that she's doing, and
Mhm.
she gives us the cards for the teleseries and summit. And I listen in, and she's like, I'm gonna host a live event here in Austin, Texas. And I was like, I know everything about live events. Let me go volunteer for her live event, and I'll be able to go to the live event and learn more. And network. And right, so that was my idea. So I hound her, I call her up, and I email her a couple of times,
Yeah.
and she's just
Like
kind of
three.
yeah, she's kind of blowing me off. But
Yeah.
I worked in sales, so I was like not gonna let her off the hook that fast. And plus I was like, I'm just gonna volunteer, not a big deal. And so
Mhm.
she's like, okay, yeah. So she takes a meeting with me. It turns out she lives down the street from me, and I come into her office, and we meet, and it was supposed to be for what, 20-30 minutes, and we stayed talking for like three
Oh,
hours.
yeah.
And she then goes on to hire
And
me.
she was pregnant.
Oh yeah, I
It
was
was that like
very
the
newly pregnant at that time. And that's why, because I had walked away to start my own business. I had just found out that I was pregnant right around that time,
Mhm.
and I said, "Look, I can help do." She was like, "Well, what would it take to hire you?" And I was like, "Well," and she became my first client in that way. So I was
Yeah.
like, "I know everything about. I can do your live event, this and that."
Yeah.
So I worked in Janet's business through the direction of my higher now source. I know the voice now,
Yeah.
because it's given me directive like that a couple more big times in my
Mhm.
life. And so fast forward, we created this really great, several really cool live events.
Mhm.
And then, money, just hit
Yeah.
these milestones that were just phenomenal. But my husband got a job at Nike, and I ended up having to move to Oregon. And so at that time, it was a lot harder to facilitate. And of course, I had a toddler,
Yeah.
facilitate working on these live events. So we kind of dissipated the relationship, and we went off and did our own things. And I continued to work in the I continued on my journey of spirituality, and I did my own show and this and that, and worked with other mentors, and she did the same in her own self. And then lo and behold, when I moved back, we had reconnected, and I had already started working back in media. So I was working for
Mhm.
the news station, and my heart wasn't in it. It was really scary. And Dana says, how cool, Bianca. There's no coincidence there.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll tell you the next
Now
piece
that we
too.
share the story,
Yeah.
it's like really like, gosh, how resistant were was I, especially to not, really let this to go. I mean, as she's saying this, we did reach 1.2 billion for gross for the business. We had about 5 people at the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like I never even really paid her what she was worth, like looking back at it
I didn't
all.
care. I was
Yeah,
excited to
it
be
was so
working and
fun.
creating in the way.
Mhm.
And so, and
And her personal growth after she left, she like dove into Dolores Cannon and did all
yeah,
this
yeah,
QHHT
yeah.
certification. So then she really came back as an equal, and I'm like, damn, not only does, I mean, it was almost like, I gotta get this girl because not only does she speak my language from the years that we'd worked together, but now she had this bigger, spacious out land, and I had this other spacious land, and then we also both knew the marketing and the
Yeah,
publicity and
yeah.
everything.
And we enjoyed it.
Yeah,
And so
we
we,
do, and
yeah,
we like both sides of this a
yeah,
lot.
we do. We
Yeah.
really do. And that's how we help our people as well and our communities. But so anyway, we came together, we created what you see today, and it's just blossomed and it's divinely
Yeah,
guided.
it hasn't even been 2 years.
No, it hasn't. And the fun thing about it is that, get this, I now live actually closer to her. I just happened to move into this house that
Mhm.
is like right down the main street from her, and we didn't know. And then it turned out that her family member moved into the house like that's right next to us that was owned by the
From
same.
Maryland,
Yes, yeah, Maryland. I didn't know them. They didn't know that they were,
but
related in that way. I didn't know that they were related until they saw our, Christmas card on their fridge. And it turns out that that the owners of our house also owned that house, so we have like a walk path through there. I mean, it's just all these synchronicities. And then we haven't even talked about Carol ever. Hi, Carol.
no, right? Yeah,
So
and blocks.
yeah, so we went to blocks. We got chosen to
To
be. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, we had just gotten back together. We're like, we're going to do this. And I got an opportunity from a colleague that I knew years ago that said, hey, I'm looking into applying. And they didn't even get on the show, by the way.
Oh wow.
I'm looking to apply at this reality show. And she's like, here, it's the invitation. You should apply. And I'm thinking, well, we don't even really know what we're doing yet.
Yeah.
But okay, let's apply for this, entrepreneur reality show. And let's just see where it goes. And we're doing the work and we're at that event. And it's a 5-day event where you basically learn information and then you have to go
Recite it back.
basically
Teach it back to
teach it
others.
back, but not just teach it back and tell them also how to apply to your
Oh,
business.
truth. Truth, right?
So it's not the easiest thing to do. Uh, and we were looking at some of the changes that we would need to add to the business and things like that, and kept saying we need a Carol because that's who we had back in 2010. It's like we need a web girl, we need a web
But
girl,
not
we
just
need a
anyone. We needed
we
Carol.
need yeah, we need a Carol.
Someone
We
like
kept
her.
saying a Carol
Yeah.
like her
Yeah.
that could just like come in and do it, and create with us,
Yeah.
not like just wait for a project to do
Yeah,
it.
yeah, and she does beautiful little
Oh
designs
yeah.
and really gets it and understood what we were working on and toward in
Yeah.
the vision last time. So it's lo
And
and
she doesn't
behold,
like to listen to all the shows either. She's like, what's a Palladian?
it's so cute. We love Carol. But she's so with it. And so while we're there, and mind you, we hadn't spoken with Carol. She had been working on her own goals for about what, 4 years.
Mhm.
She just so happens to reach out while we were at blocks, while we
Yeah.
were just saying
Just
that we
saying
needed
it.
her. She says, hey, do you have any work for
Work for
me?
me.
And we're
Yeah.
like, boy, do we.
We're like, yeah, and today we've got even more than we did yesterday.
Yes.
So if you're liking the brand and looking at the colors and the newsletter, she does all of
She
that.
really does. She does an amazing job. And
Mhm.
we're like, not only will we bring you on, we'll pay you more.
Yeah.
Yes, we want you. Yes.
Yes.
And so
Mhm.
that has been the vision. And so now we're growing even faster. And the reason why we're able to bring this show to you as a free resource, and it will always be a free resource. Whether we do enjoy doing it live every Tuesday and
Yeah.
Thursday, and it's because we do the special offers that the speakers make, and so that's how we were able to offset that cost. And it's been such a blessing to have this community come together as an audience. I always say this, I'm super proud of this community
Mhm.
because it's all of you that make it the community.
Yeah.
We just happen to be facilitating and just showing up. It's, the non-judgment. Jenith calls the Navy
Yeah.
SEALs of consciousness, right? We may not have all the answers or even the right questions to ask, but we're not afraid to ask it because this community has been so loving and we're all on our own spiritual journey and we're all different. So the way in which we receive is going to be all different. And that's the reason why we have so many different ideas and
Yeah.
speakers on this show.
Yeah.
And so we took that concept and we were like, well, what if we made an inner circle, a place where we can take some of these bigger concepts and really bring them into like, how do we change our lives?
Yeah.
And I say ours because there's so much I receive from our inner circle. And that's what we created, the Mystique Society. Even that has been a journey. First we were calling it the lounge,
Lounge.
and it
But
just
then
didn't,
we didn't feel like
it
they were
wasn't
very loungy.
it didn't feel like the energy of what we were creating. It
Yeah.
felt very mystical. It felt very inner circle, and we
Yeah.
get our private space and
Yeah.
where we can all have our intuitive gifts come alive. And I can't tell you the amount of change that I am so excited to see happen in the members. We've got people that are coming to our live event that have never traveled before or haven't traveled in a long time. And that's just because all of us are stepping outside of our comfort zones.
We're following the energy and
Yes.
they're
I'm having
growing
this
to
at my
follow
house.
their
I've never
energy.
done anything like that.
I know, I'm proud of you for doing
Yeah,
that. Thank you for doing that.
yeah,
Because yeah, I feel
yeah.
like so last year, our first year, we were just 9 months in and I wanted an event. I was like, let's have even if there's just five of us, let's do this. And it just seemed like it was just, pulling teeth to get anybody to really see what we are,
And
what
I
we have
think
to
and we
offer.
didn't really have the time to pull it out either because we had just come off of blocks.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that was another thing. It was just kind of a whim, like pull it out of the back pocket, see if it sticks.
And so this time we really have had the time
Time
to
to
really curate
create.
and still have it be very intimate.
Yeah,
And I was like, no matter what, we're doing a live event.
yeah.
And then Jennifer was like, I just got this really new. And when I really say this work works,
Mhm.
I always see things as done, right? Like
Yes.
Lindsay says, like put yourself in that other timeline. Well, we got this really cool back patio done.
Yeah,
And I mean, came with our own blood, sweat, and tears. I'll put a post up about it.
yeah.
But when Jenith was out back there, she's like, we could do the live event here. And I was like, we can? Like,
Right.
and
Well, it's a gorgeous
look,
space.
it is. It really is. It's really beautiful. And we worked hard on getting that together. And I thought,
Yeah,
oh, you're right. How fun
yeah.
would that be? Pull some mats out and let's just create change together.
Yeah, and we pulled out a calendar and we're like, what day? And
Can't
it
be doing the
just
summer because
it
it's way
just
too hot.
yeah, it just showed us exactly when.
Yeah.
And we were like, okay, well, what are we going to call this? What are we going to do during this? And some of the people in the inner circle signed up right away when we just said we were having it. They didn't even know what they were coming for. But some of our expertise, I mean, so Lianka does QHHT and we'll take the whole group into past life regression.
And quantum healing. So it
Mhm,
also heals the body while you're connected to your higher self,
mhm.
which is connected to source. So similar to what Lindsay did today, but much more intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I do hands-on body work, and it's very much about integrating some of those newer revelations, some of those newer awarenesses that that you're not yet being, but you like to really be it in your body.
Hmm.
And it's a lot about asking the body and what it's ready for next and what it's open for next, and really opening up some of the spaciousness within the body. So now we even know what's going to happen during the live event. There's I guess about 15 or 16 signed up right now. So this is a really
Intimate.
intimate thing, by the way. If you're brand new to our world and you're kind of just on the fence, know that this is going to be really a hands-on experience. I expect to, I'm going to have a massage table there and bring somebody up, and I probably will bring, at least half the group up, if
Yeah.
not all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen her body work, definitely check out the page for the live event. It's at houthustle.com/event.
Correct.
And I created a little like a cheer for remembering how hustle. It's HAUTE
That's funny.
HUSTLE.
TLE.
TLE. HAUTEHUSTLE.
Rah, rah,
Yeah.
rah.
HAUTE.
That's funny.
HUSTLE.
Yeah.
So it was just coming in my head that way, but it helps me to remember. Anyway, so
And let me put our email in here. If you would like to talk to us about it,
yeah.
if you're on the fence and you're interested, it's $150 during the summit. And a lot of the inner circle members are definitely coming. So
Yeah, definitely take a look. So, the other thing too is if you are interested in the joining us for Mystique, you can
do you want
we
me to
have
bring up the page and
yeah,
go through
let's
it?
talk about this
Okay.
because it's pretty interesting. And if you're interested, let us know. We can have a conversation, but we do have a limited time offer for the 6 months,
Yes,
which is probably the best value
ever.
ever. And we have some of our inner circle on that program, and they took advantage of it and are so happy that they did. And I'm so happy that they did because we get to like just experience each other. These people have some amazing gifts, y'all.
Yeah,
And as you are around people, remember they say to surround yourself with, you become who you surround yourself with.
right.
Right. So get yourself into rooms. If it's not this one, get yourself into rooms that have those qualities and abilities that you would like to see most in yourself.
Mhm.
These people just happen to have their like their psychic gifts available and online. And as I am with them, as you are with them, your psychic abilities will contribute to them and their psychic abilities contribute to you. Thus, you illuminate each other's psychic abilities. There are some amazing psychic people in this. And
Yeah.
even if they don't think they are, they
Oh,
are.
and most of them do think they are
They
now.
do. They do
It
now.
might have started out that they didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
it's
And
like it
even
takes
me.
about 2 to 3 months for them to really acknowledge themselves
Yeah.
and say, "No, I do know my knower."
Or yeah, or they'll pipe up and be like, I'm getting something for her. And so
Yeah.
then because we go on the line, like it's not just me, Jenna talking, like this is y'all, everybody contributing. And somebody will be speaking and they will raise a hand and be like, I'm getting something about this.
Mhm.
And then with permission, they're able to speak and say, like, hey, tell me a little bit more about where you're sitting, or what does the land look like? And they'll be
Yeah.
like, this is the contribution that my guides are showing me for you.
Mhm.
And that's been really profound for each other as well. And they're
Yeah.
friends, like they exchange phone numbers and they
They
talk
talk
about
to
their,
each other weekly, some of them, and
yes,
and we have a Facebook group that they pour their white flowers into
white
white
feathers.
feathers. It's
That's
so
right,
funny.
white
I keep
feathers.
like Freudian slipping on that.
That is funny. I guess the flowers is going
Flowers
to be
and
our next
feathers.
thing, right?
The white
So
one's right here.
and they'll post their pictures of like the different things that they see and why they see them. And
License
it's
plates,
kind of the place
signs.
where you can talk about this stuff where it's open and it's totally okay. And
Mhm.
again, no judgment. It's like taking this really cool community that we have right here in our audience, but going super deep and like
Yeah.
going, okay, let's go. Like I'm not
Yeah.
afraid to be super woo here. This is the stuff I cannot talk with my husband about. This is that place where you get
Yeah.
your peeps.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have your woo time.
We talk about fairies and fairy benches, and and that there's a total realness. We've also talked about some of the falsities when we know it's not true,
Yeah.
like Santa. Um, so there's some dynamic conversations. We last call, we talked about congruence and, how do we really get, and let go of those belief systems that you have to do certain things, instead of just stepping into the frequency of the thing.
Oh, and
Mhm.
I mean, even to the synchronicities are amazing. Like one person asked us if we had had, as the group, if we had had a Kundalini experience,
Mhm.
and I noticed
Yes.
that another person wasn't in on the call, who usually is always on the call, and it just so happened that that person felt like they were having a Kundalini experience while we were on the call
And
all
and
together,
and
and the
yapping about it.
Yes, and so that other person was experiencing their own experience privately, so they couldn't come to the call. But we were just in the middle of talking about it. You can't make this stuff up. It's
Yeah.
amazing. And I'm saying all of this because we're talking about all the synchronicities, is because this is divinely guided. It's being created through
Through
us
us,
and
believe me,
for
because
you
I would love to
and
control
through
things.
you too. Yeah, I know. It is created through you too. So if
Mhm.
you are just even a little bit called, let's have a conversation, about how you can participate. And we're kind of changing up some stuff to make sure that we can
Yeah.
have everyone participate a lot more.
Yeah. I wrote up all of this on this page pretty much by hand at the time. And this is still, I read through it last night. Yes, this is the vision I want for Mystique.
Hmm.
So, how it's different. It's this frequency. I like using that word, playground for visionaries. Like these are people that really want to live that multi-dimensional life that they know is available to them, but they haven't yet chosen. And it's about doing it not just from your head space and have a good, strong vision and follow your purpose, but really doing it from that space of an embodiment experience. So that's one of the, real missions within this, and that's written up here. Here's 5 reasons that we found that our members really stay. I kind of wrote this in a cheeky way, but I think it's really important. They see the quantum leaps. They see the practices and our rituals like within us. Like, we have these practices, and these sayings that we say, can't make that shit up,
Yeah.
kind of sayings, right? It becomes a part of them.
Yeah, it's too cute. Paula says, got to get out my pom-poms out now.
Ah, right?
Interconnectedness, it's a truly accepting, safe space. Yes, it is. And
Yeah.
I was going to say something else, like some of the phrases that we use are really funny. Like Shara the other day, she was like, you know,
Oh, shake your
Yeah,
boo thing.
yeah, because we're talking about not being able to like be free, right? Like Lindsay said, to bring out her freak flag.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, everybody needs to shake their woo thing, like
Yep. We're getting t-shirts made.
yeah, too fun, right? And so it's kind of that like it's really safe space where we can have these really cool conversations and bring it
Mhm.
into our lives
Like
outside of where no one else we're having,
yes, nobody's taught, not well. I mean, we're talking about it.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
are
And
others.
there are others for sure. And
Yeah.
if it's not our group, make sure you get around others that are facilitating that for you
Hmm.
because it can feel really lonely when you are kind of going through some of this spiritual awakening stuff and you don't know if you are experiencing something and you don't know if it's real. You're like, is this real? Is this really
Yeah.
happening?
Right.
And this is where we bring like our crazy dreams. This
Yep.
is where we talk about, that kind of stuff that's happened to us.
Hmm.
And even if something's ailing us too, like whether it's
Yeah.
sickness or health, or
Yeah.
we bring that into this group. And lots of times we're done. There are so many times I've gotten off that call and be like, damn, I needed that today.
Yeah.
I needed that
No,
right there and then.
absolutely.
Yes.
Uh, we've talked a little bit about what happens in the mastermind. That happens on Wednesday nights. It's like a 2 hour shindig. It goes at least 2 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was sitting
it seems
outside.
that way.
It went from light to dark
Yep.
outside. Didn't even care. It was cool.
Yeah, we were having
Uh,
fun. It's just fun. It's just a fun party. I've minimalized, so that you can really see the pieces in a really solid way. But know that when you join us for $37 a month, there is an opportunity to go even deeper into what we're calling the Visioneer program. But we're starting with just this path for those that choose it. And once you get inside, we'll tell you about how you can work with us on a daily, weekly basis. So here's what's inside. You're going to, of course, get all our summits. So if you want to join this program and you've already purchased the summit, don't worry, we'll refund that money and you will get every single summit that we ever do. And I feel like this content's important for you to have
Yeah.
available. So, it's going to be available for you.
Facilitates the conversations we have too.
Correct.
Hmm.
Then we were like, oh, that conversation that you had with Miriam at the last summit, and oh, I got to go back and watch that and revisit the exact wording. And sometimes you hear something in a moment and you don't hear it again. Um, and that that person said it for you, and you're like, I got to hear it in maybe a different way because my timeline has shifted. That's the best way I can explain that. So you're going to get the libraries, all of them, always. Right now, that is a $47 offer for
If you
all
were
of
to buy
them,
it.
but
Yeah.
only during the summit, right? Then it immediately goes to 97 after. So there is that. The all members always, if we host a speaker special offer, they have a How Hustle code where they get 10% off those speaker special offers. It's given to all of you, and if you don't know where it is, I can resend it.
Yeah, I mean, I get
But
text messages all the
I
time.
shared some of the pricing here. Like, so look, if you're just going to buy one $97 program, that's already $10 off just by having the membership. So I want you to kind of look at, wow, if I buy three special offers, well, I might as well just get How Hustle because then that's paid for too.
Right. Because
Or the Mystique, right?
yes, yes, yes.
Get the
Yeah.
How Hustle.
And
Let's get the How Hustle down.
and if you take
Advance.
advantage of, we didn't even say the pricing yet, but if you take
No.
advantage of our 6 month pricing, it's only 111. So it's 222 for the annual, but 111 for each 6 months. So if you take advantage of that, which is our lowest price, and we did say that, it's which is our lowest price. If
It's
you
like half of the
yeah,
regular monthly.
exactly. And so basically you don't do the 37 each month. We just do the 111 today. You're
And then
in.
we do it in another 6 months.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you get the 10% off. You get the summits, the previous summits, which are,
Yep, all the summits.
yeah, so those are
Get in here.
$97 each. I
Right.
mean, those it already paid for itself 2 times, 3 times over. Just
Yeah.
saying.
But you also get, like, sometimes there's that speaker that you really just want to get your
Question.
question answered, or the psychic reading, or whatever. Well, if you've noticed on the summit, sometimes people don't get their questions answered because we don't have a time. So this would be a way for you to raise your hand and actually get your question answered by being in Mystique. And then this is the newer thing that I twisted Lianka's arm and I was like, we can time box it and only, offer it here. And then the next summit, we won't offer it this way again, unless you are already in Mystique. But we found that we have a few members that like to have regular sessions with us. So now, if you would like a monthly session or just a one-time off, you're just like, oh, I'm stuck and I'd like to talk to Lianka for an hour. Right now, it's just $111 with the Mystique membership.
Normally
Yeah.
that pricing just for for our 1 hour session is 444 in and around.
Right.
And we're able to offer you that deeper discount just because you are part of our membership. And let me tell you, having that session has helped us facilitate for our members so much because now we know the inner workings of why they may be asking a question. I've seen the growth that's happened. I've seen the angel wings come from their spiritual angel wings come from alive
Yeah.
and really take them to the next level. I've
Yeah.
the different things that we've experienced with our members and even having that one-on-one time has been so profound. I think it even
Yeah.
just up levels the
Right now,
membership.
here,
You
like,
don't have to do it, but it is available.
what's not on here that I just realized is the Facebook group, and also,
Yeah.
any member that emails us that says, I have this going on, we always support them and respond.
And there are times where
Yeah.
I've even, hey, let's jump on the phone
Yep.
because we are such an intimate group.
Uh-huh.
We have that ability to do that.
Yeah.
And I really, it's because we just want to facilitate for each other.
Yeah. And of course, this is the biggest of the whole enchilada, and this is really why people come, is that monthly mastermind where we get to just, open with a topic and we just go wherever the ball rolls. And I mean, we've talked about synchronicity in the first call today, but that's really where the synchronicity
Tiffany wrote,
happens.
she says, if you had with fun with Lindsay's session, Wednesdays are that times 100. Oh,
Oh,
thank
that's
you.
that's
Thank
nice. Thank
you.
you. Got a few testimonials in here. Um, I, and if you, we're going to talk about this more in the group, but we're also with Growth Day, there's an upgrade. You can do one or the other, but we can also do Mystique Visioneer. And with Mystique Visioneer, we can really take you into, a daily productivity. And
Practice.
yeah, I mean, we use this app through Brendan Burchard and Growth Day, and it's just been remarkable for me because
Yeah.
it keeps me on task. You can put a task list in there, and you get inspiration every day, and they have growth day streaks. So, and I'm doing on a regular time, not always, not every Friday, but I do a dragon hypnosis journey where it's always have some sort of suggestions to get you deeper and more connected with your own healing capacities as an infinite being. Um, so this is also available to you for $47. I'm going to go ahead and put the link in the chat. Um,
I'm so proud of this group. Like
I am too.
I remember when we first started talking about it, I always felt all like, oh, the sales pitch, like a weird thing. And
Mm,
I don't, because I'm not innately, I did sales. And so the last thing
yeah,
I ever want to do is sell anybody on anything anymore. It's always an invitation. And now when we talk about it, I'm so proud of
I
it.
know.
I'm like, it's amazing. And
Yeah,
we're gonna, it's got such a great deal and the change. I mean, it
right,
comes from an authentic place. If it's for you, choose it. If you feel
right,
like a little bit like, oh, you're feeling your body's called to it,
right,
obviously have a conversation with us.
right,
And if it's not, that's cool. We'll still be here as your community, as your audience, and
right.
facilitating these on every Tuesday and Thursday. We're
Yeah,
live.
yeah. Um, okay, so yeah, the growth with the growth day, that's actually a 49 offer. I said that incorrectly. It's $49. No, it's not additional. It's
It's either or,
instead.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You could either go from the 37 to the 49, or you
Yeah.
can do the annual, which is, choose it now and
Yeah.
it's 111.
Yeah. Or you can't. It's funny you said 111 and the time was 111.
Oh, cool. And it's 111 for and
Yeah.
if that covers the next 6 months, you won't get another charge until,
Till six
yeah,
months. But that is just for the standard,
yeah.
which does make it a little confusing, which is why I said we can talk about the other within the
Visionary later.
group
Yeah.
or individually.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, just send us a message through the
But the
regular
two
email.
numbers you'd remember is the 37 monthly or the 111 for the next 6 months.
Yeah, yeah. So if you don't have any other questions, maybe we can play in a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and any of you guys that want to switch to the annual, go for it. Just let us know via email because we'll have to do that manually.
I think you'll find working with us is one of the most easiest things to do. Mainly, we just love our community and we want you to participate in however you feel see fit.
Yeah,
And email us,
yeah,
basically. We have a
absolutely.
conversation. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, who just wants to share
Oh,
something that's going on, and we play in the frequency just for a few minutes. We've got 15 minutes here to play in the energy of whatever.
anybody want to raise their hands? I know we threw a
We
lot
can
at you.
also do a little
Journey? Yeah,
hypnosis
let's do
journey
it.
if you want.
Joe says Mystique described very simply is magic. Oh, it's
Oh,
the
that was
best quotes
sweet. I'm gonna
ever.
steal that one from the chat.
Oh, thank you. There's been so many great comments here from our existing members. They're beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah,
And definitely, I mean, we didn't pay them to write
right.
that. They just wanted to. So thank you so much.
Yeah. If we were gonna do a little dragon journey, what would you want your guardian dragon to show you? I'm
Mm.
gonna type it in the chat. Oh, and I didn't even tell you about awesomeness.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So along the journey, right out, I think was it before? Was it before? It was right after you left or before.
It
It
was
might have
during
been
no.
2013 or 2014.
Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, well, you were
I was
talking
around for the
awesomeness.
awesomeness
Yeah.
because I we
Okay.
got the t-shirt.
Yeah, you're right. You did get the t-shirts. Um, so I was at working with Access Consciousness and Dr. Dane here, and he does this work called Symphony Sessions. And he had just come out with his first group, and it was called an SOP Symphony of Possibilities. And I had been, doing all the classes, kind of building myself up. And I was like terrified to do this, basically. And I'm like shaking in my shoes, and I go to this event, and during the event, I kind of am pretending to. Like there's just this pretend in
Play.
me.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And he came behind me and he's like just kind of centered me. His energy, who he was, didn't say a word, just came, and it was just like hand, and it's centered. And then my whole energy, space, consciousness, and universe. It literally was as if he was a light being behind me and went through me. And I continued on with the class acting, and I was like, what the hell just happened?
That's the type
Like
of magic that happens at a
that,
live event, huh?
yes.
Yeah.
and and I started really doing this. It's kind of interesting. It was like the other day with the cold plunge. My friend was like, looked me directly in the eye and said, well, are you going to go in this and shiver, or are you going to really do this? And it was just that moment in time where I got, directly in all of me. And I said, no, I'm doing this. I know this. Was something beyond that just allowed me to know that I know that I know. And I know that whenever I do this work, there is change that happens. And I now think that when I came up with the words awesomeness, when I was looking for a word for my own energy work, because it seemed a little different than what he was doing, I really think that that was from my Arcturian channel, Ormatus.
Yeah.
And I just was looking for an English word.
Uh-huh.
So we'll just play an awesomeness for a little bit since I didn't get a lot of comments. Or Dana has
Well,
something, but
if people want their dragon to tell me that I'm on the right track for the
okay,
next
cool.
purpose, I kind of agree. That would be great for me. That I want my dragon to give me the courage to go after my dreams. Yeah, I like
Mhm.
that one too.
Yeah, when they're aligned, I think that's the biggest one, right?
Our dreams feel aligned. Tiffany, your
Yeah,
dreams feel aligned
probably. But I think that that's also sometimes some of the hesitation. All
for
right.
sure.
Well, let's just start some awesomeness up, and we'll do a mini. Dana, did you have something that you want to say first? Uh, Hold
Well,
on.
real quick, I just
Yeah.
wanted to share because of when Miriam said yesterday about the rainbow spectrum of light that I've been integrating. And then
Hmm.
this morning, early morning, between 3 and 5, I was woken up and I was literally having like very vivid, lucid conversation with my counsel and my higher self. And then the dream, and then about with the baby, like this baby was so cute and tiny and 10 days old, and it rolled over and it was born like awake and aware. And
Wow.
so
Wow.
I had to write it down because it was just really cool, and it did have to do with. It says they said I was attuned to the vibration of the new earth, and they showed
Yeah.
me too to how to be in my heart space to connect better,
Mm.
and um, and also like to feel if it's positive or negative for me. Like they had me practicing it last night or
Wow.
early morning, and it's
Mm.
and they were saying that I'm being reminded that I'm a major frequency holder in the emergence for the new earth,
Uh-huh.
and embodying the new codes, and it marked my integration into the living blueprint of the earth grid, and my
Wow.
consciousness now transmits its harmonic field through acts of love and remembrance.
I
Mm.
I
love
thought
that.
that was so cool and connected to what
Of
Miriam was
course.
saying yesterday.
Yeah.
So Dana is part of our Mystique, and I mean, imagine being in a room with her,
With a
right?
bunch of people that are talking this way.
Yeah. Dana, that's amazing. It's no it's
I,
no surprise to me that you would get those type of messages. And in fact, the words blueprint keeps coming as a theme.
mm,
And I feel like there is something else there for you as far as I mean, golly, you're really being called to this bigger mission, so should you so accept, right? And it feels like you're having much more confidence and comfortability around that, especially since you did your lives just recently. I mean, that's
mhm.
amazing.
Yes, thank you. I am accepting and I'm just going with the flow. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank
Thank
you. And
you.
thank you for being so brave.
Yeah. I think that's kind of an energy and answer to this. And I'm just gonna say, if anybody that joins the Mystique during the summit, I'm just gonna give you the first 7 dragon
Oh,
activations, which
nice.
is a $300 value, by the way.
What a
So that
gift.
since we don't really have time to play too much, but let's just see if you can connect with your own dragon
Okay.
and ask your own question. Uh, so with awesomeness, I started by rubbing my wrists together. It just came through me that way, and then I've noticed as I've grown, it actually comes through my hands too. So you'll see me doing this sometimes. And with this, oftentimes I start to feel it in my heart, and it becomes this thrum, this rhythm. I like to think that it's a heartbeat of the earth that connects with the heartbeat of this universal energy that's coming through us for whatever is required. And sometimes this is delicious frequency. And as you tap in, just close your eyes for a minute and just right here on earth, go to the place that your dragon is most willing to receive you. Where in energy, time, and environment would you go to meet this energetic being that is here for you to guide you down this path? And just get all the visuals, all the sensations, all the 3D thoughts, feelings, emotions, energies, touches, smells, visuals, all that 3D, see through your mind's eye. What does your dragon look like?
Hmm.
What does your dragon feel like? What does your dragon smell like? And relax. And relax. And relax. And now, what is it that your dragon needs to speak through you today? Just connect with it. It it's there for you. And then take another moment to inquire more. So what else, dragon? What else do you require of me? What else is required of me? And if there's any human action steps required that you're unwilling to take, even, or resistant to take, or fearful to take because you don't trust it, allow it to come through you, tell you more. And see what its movements are showing you. Sometimes they'll act up, or they'll puff some smoke, or they'll, fire, a candle even. See if it acts up, that becomes a metaphor for you. And relax into this. Just really have a drishti or a gaze in your mind's eye. Relax. And then sort of wrap up this conversation knowing that he or she is always available. You can ask it right here. What name can I call upon to know that you're here? What name might you go by? What frequency of sounds might you go by? So I can ask more questions later. And then slowly come back alive, wiggling your fingers and your toes, and you'll come back awake and alert in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awake and alert, awake and alert, awake and alert. Hello, welcome back. And I'd love to hear what some of your comments in the chat.
Yeah, I'll share mine since we were looking for mine was my dragon was actually like gave me the image of gray hair. And then it kind of laughed when I was like, oh, he said, and was basically like, that's the association of wisdom for you and your terminology, but showed me what it really was like, just kind of like really grown out, like, just these, I don't know, whiskers or whatnot, but like, and then said that he can take on any form of whether that be young and masculine or very, youthful, but is a old and wise, and gave me the image of like what I thought wise would look like. And then did this big like thump of the tail in my house and was basically like just to shake up everything.
Wow.
And was just saying like giving myself more time and presence. And he says, you, and called me princess. And he says, how does that make you feel? And I was like, and he says, okay, high priestess, how does that make you feel?
I knew that you were going to say that.
Oh, it's so weird. And I don't know, that's weird too. And then
that's what they're called. That's the word that I think they call those.
Yeah,
because I felt like, no, that's too significant. I won't take it. And then they're like, no, that is what you are.
Funny. That's exactly the message I say. How does that make you feel?
Yeah.
You think he just started laughing.
Yeah.
You think that that this was on accident, that you were not chosen for this? You think that he was like, then what would you have you called the wisdom? Would you, and he's like, would you think that we would make a mistake? Did you think you would make that mistake? And I was like, oh my God, do you think God would make that mistake? And I was like, okay, good, got it. was
But
really cute, and just was go forth without the worry. You have been called and you are answered.
uh-huh.
You've answered, but you are asking. He started laughing again and said, "You are asking not enough questions, and not." He said, "Ask better questions."
Yeah.
Like, ask better questions, ask more questions,
Yeah.
and ask for assistance
Yeah.
in all things. I was like, oh, okay, got it. Okay.
All right, we don't have a ton of time here. We are right at
Yeah.
the 30 of the hour. Um, Katie said, when you asked for a reaction from my dragon, he just had a big smile. Then Lianka giggled. Then he smiled again, and Lianka giggled again.
That's way cool.
That's really cool.
Oh, I love that so much.
Yeah.
Way cool. That's how I felt too. Oh man.
Yeah. See how fast it is. I mean, I really feel like, I mean, I know that a lot of us that are in this community are, a little advanced at this work. But it is so simple and it is so fast. And do you see how, like, you might get an awareness like that in 5 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
10 minutes. And then what
Changes
we
my
can
life.
do is say, now, do you really and want to embody it? And then we will, work with the frequencies within the physical, within your auric field. Clearly, my hands are often off the body, which is working on some auric field. Um, I wish I could explain this work a little better, but that is about all you get. It's an experience. It's not really here to be explained from what I understand.
Finney said, Rosy Pink Dragon, Follow Joy, and then Just Dance by Lady Gaga started playing. Isn't that so cool? And said, smelled like cotton candy. The scene was very Wizard of Oz, Yellow Brick Road, which is my favorite movie, mind you, or one of. And I mean, yes, those are the types of synchronicities that are by no accident. I've learned, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all here for us now.
It really is. Everything is. Everything.
Yeah. All right, Phyllis, come on live. Come on down. You're the next contestant on that little show.
We have had an amazing day today.
Let me stop the recording and start a new fresh one.